this is your moderator, Catherine Ross. Welcome to GBA Blockchain Week. I'm super thrilled to announce this panel, and let's just start. I'd love for you guys to sort of introduce yourself to our viewers and tell a little bit about what you have been doing in the crypto space. Let's start with Andy.
Hi, I'm Andy Lian. I'm right now in Singapore. So I'm the advisory board member to Hyundai DAC, and I'm also a book author. The book is called Blockchain Revolution 2030. And right before that, I'm actually an intergovernmental advisor to a couple of countries. So nice to meet everyone.
Thank you. John, could you please tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, hello everyone. This is John from the Neo Blockchain. Yeah, I'm responsible for the Eco Growth team and the Neo Eco Fund. Yep. So it's really appreciate that I can join the GBA's panel today. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony.
Hello everyone. My name is Tony Tong from Hong Kong Blockchain Association. And I'm also the co-chairman of Hong Kong Blockchain Association and also the president of Hong Kong Global STOX, which is a crypto exchange based in Hong Kong.
Wow, thank you guys so much. I'm just excited to start it. So I'm just going to go ahead and ask my first question, which is pretty obvious, but I have to ask it anyway. What are the major trends in the crypto industry in the Asian region right now? Tony, could you tell us a little bit about maybe Hong Kong scene or overall, because worldwide it is like DeFi and NFTs. So what is happening in the crypto space in Asia?
Well, here in Hong Kong, we saw that the Hong Kong regulator just issued its first licensed crypto exchange, which is called Virtual Asset Trading Platform, VATP, license under the regulator, the Securities Futures Commission. So we are also seeing some of the listed companies beginning to follow the Tesla path in announcing big purchase. There's a listed company called May2 that recently announced a purchase of $40 million worth of Bitcoin and Ethereum. So I think we're going to be seeing more and more regulated and crypto exchanges coming out of Hong Kong. Also regulated asset management companies under the SFC Type 9 asset management license. We're seeing like Huobi recently announced that they acquired a virtual asset management license under the SFC in Hong Kong. So it's very active.
So is it too risky to put Bitcoin to corporate treasures from the Hong Kong perspective? Because you're saying publicly traded companies are now following Tesla's footsteps, right? So isn't it too risky to do that?
Well, it's a free market, so the shareholders, investors get to judge. They can, dispose the shares if they don't like what their chairman is doing. But we are seeing, I think we are seeing more and more companies will have crypto assets in their treasury portfolio. And some of the listed companies have announced acquiring other Bitcoin assets, such as mining machines. Sun City, for example, a listed company on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange, announced that they are buying 1,000 Bitcoin, Ant miners. So I think that's another trend. So the crypto concepts, some of them are outright, buying crypto. Some of them are getting licenses to trade or to manage crypto assets, and some of them are acquiring other software or hardware that's blockchain or crypto related.
Okay, Andy, can you walk us through major trends in the crypto space in your opinion?
Well, I think that the trend is very obvious. When we talk about things in Asia, if you look at the news recently about NFTs, a gentleman in Singapore bought artwork at about 70 mil, and then another gentleman in Malaysia, bought another close to 2.5 mil or 2.9 mil. So the trend for this NFT is definitely going ahead. You can see smaller creators in the Asia space trying to get into the market. Personally, I do know of some art students. They work in a group right now in Singapore, trying their best to also penetrate into the art collectible space using their creative, artwork. So this is one. Second thing will be DeFi. DeFi is definitely still in the bull run. You can see new crypto plays that is out in the market. You can see how NFT is working with DeFi as well. You could now borrow against your collectible, and then on platforms like Cream, like Uniswap, just to get some liquidity out from there and get your loan out. So these two things are very, very much the in thing right now. The third thing that I do see is the STO market in Singapore. There are a few in principle approval for them to operate as a registered market operator. That would also change some of the things that we see right now in terms of dealing with securities. So these three are the main trends. Last but not least, I think the growth in altcoin funds are actually very promising. I see a few institutions looking at altcoin funds, building up that portfolio of theirs, and I do see great numbers coming out from there. After all, right now we are still in the very bullish state. So most of these things are going well and right on track.
And going back to altcoins, do you have any particular names that are, cryptocurrencies that are of interest rather than Bitcoin?
I think if without making any huge mistakes, when we look at altcoins, most of them right now, most of the funds, they are looking at the top 10. BNB, ADA. Even XRP, they are all looking at that. But when I talk to different institutions, they came out with altcoin funds that are a bit down the line, and they also came out with altcoin funds that are geographic bound. So, for example, one of the asset management company that I know, they will consider making a altcoin fund that is more Asia centric, so that they could introduce them to their European and UK clients. So I think the offering has improved significantly in terms of what can be done, on an institution grade. We hope to really see more of such this integration, or more of this adoption in time to come, because that will really help the market move a lot faster.
For sure. John, what are the major crypto trends from your perspective?
Yeah, so as a blockchain is an open network, so I think we from the Neo side, we actually is working with lots of the different projects from the different region, like the Japan, the Korea, the Russian, and lots of the regions project. My feeling is from the end of the last year till today, it's quite activity for the blockchain. We can see lots of for the new idea is currently in the market. You can see no matter for the BSC, the hacker, has lots of the new project. So my personal feeling is even regulation is something, but for the whole ecosystem, we can see lots of the new people and talent actually to join this industry and want to create some new things. I think that is more important than we see the price booming. We see the rich institution buy lots of the Bitcoin. I think more talent join this industry, more project is thinking using the blockchain to solving the problem. I think that is maybe more important than something else. Yeah. So I think the trade is quite good. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're right. There are a lot more people are coming to the space. My next question is actually how, and it's sort of a logical conclusion from your words, John, is how has the pandemic changed the crypto scene in Asia? Because we definitely have seen a lot more people coming into the space, trying it out as traders, investors, as developers, right? So a lot more people have turned to crypto for different reasons during the pandemic. Do you have any stats, any data, or any examples of how has the pandemic changed the crypto industry in Asia? Tony, I think you're muted. Still muted.
Yeah, sorry. Okay. The pandemic has prompted the adoption of digital payments. So in China, we see the DCEP, the central bank digital currency, is coming out actually in trial in 4 different cities. I know many people in Shenzhen, they are already using it. To many Chinese, that's not a whole lot of difference from what they are used to using like WeChat payment or Alipay, but this is more similar to a blockchain-based technology. Although it's not a public blockchain, it's more like a private blockchain regulated by the government. But it is still I think it will be a very popular form of payment for people on a daily usage. So I think that's going to eventually spread into nearby regions in Hong Kong and Southeast Asia. Many people will be using wallets and to handle DCEP payments. Other forms of payments, digital payment in Hong Kong are popping up. A point of sale system that are integrated with Bitcoin, Ethereum, or USDT. They are coming up everywhere in Hong Kong. Also, Bitcoin or crypto ATMs are coming up. I know several companies have opened huge outlets, retail outlets in like Mong Kok, Nathan Road, very busy area, in Tsim Sha Tsui, very busy area. They've opened up crypto outlets with ATM and point of sale systems. So I think the crypto payments will be, getting massive adoption. I won't be surprised within a couple of years in Hong Kong, we're going to be seeing like a 7-Eleven, other retail chains that will be accepting crypto payments.
Wow, so your timeline for crypto payments to become a thing, a regular everyday thing, is just a couple of years, right? It can happen.
And many wonderful service offerings. For example, crypto.com, they are hugely popular in the younger generation in Hong Kong. So people can, download their wallet and then receive interest payment from their savings, USDT savings, and then also getting a Visa card that can take care of daily spending. So I know many young people are literally bypassing the traditional banks and by using and living and spending based on cryptocurrencies.
Wow. I'm also interested in the supply chain issue that the whole world has actually faced during the pandemic. I think this is the biggest issue in terms of, business, that one of the biggest issues that has seen a light of day during the pandemic. John, can you tell us a little bit about whether blockchain as a technology can actually facilitate this problem and help us prevent this in the future if we, God forbid, is going to see another pandemic coming soon?
Yeah, by the blockchain technology, and I think currently no matter in the mainland China or some other region is no matter for the government side or for the enterprise side, they are very welcome for this thing. So as what I know is like no matter including like some like consulting firm and some like even some the real industry, like they are currently using the blockchain to solving some like the problem. Compare with the traditional technology. So of course, like I think like maybe at this stage, as what I know is like in China, mainland is already have lots of the company. They already set their blockchain technology department, and they are trying to actually to start to do some research for this technology and to find out like how actually can blockchain to be used in the future. So I think it's quite a good start. And also like in the Xiong'an, the Chinese city, like the government is also is started building like the Xiong'an chain or some the different city build their own chain. So all these chains, of course, I think that we just mentioned about the BSN, and the BSN is also coordinated with them to build a blockchain the network in the mainland China. So after the blockchain network being built in several cities in China, I think in the future, no matter for the enterprise or the institution, they actually can be used in this infrastructure to build lots of the new business in the blockchain. So by the technology side, I think it's already have some countryside the start point. Yeah.
For sure. Andy, what are your thoughts on how the pandemic has changed the ecosystem and the industry?
I think the pandemic, although it's a really bad thing, but it also came at the right time for many companies to review their technology requirement. Like what Tony has mentioned, adoption for payment is a lot faster. Right now, digital payment is a lot faster. People are more receptive to it. People are more open to use digital payment. No longer making queues and unnecessary stressing on unnecessary customer service officer at the counter. I do see that happening. We also do see that the delivery services, in Singapore, it has gone up significantly, whether it's for food delivery or online purchase, e-commerce. I think all those are definitely going up. And all these things are also part of a digital transformation, for some countries. Singapore as well, we see more cooperation coming up and trying to find out more about what blockchain can really do, how the whole tokenized process can really help them in the longer run. So this has always been ongoing, but it has just become a lot faster in the current COVID times. And coming back to things like payment and so forth, in Philippines, 7-Eleven, through ATMs, they can sell Bitcoin and so forth. Again, all these things happen during this period, and I would say, COVID-19 came as a blessing as well for the tech industry, and I do hope to see more adoption for technology, more adoption for blockchain, and also opening things up for cryptocurrency, because again, everyone is down right now. Government is rethinking strategy on how they should look at their monetary policies. Some of them, they start to open things up for a crypto-like structure. They are also encouraging banks to take up positions in exploring how cryptocurrency can benefit their client. So all these things are really ongoing. Depending on where you are and what you are doing, I think the amount of exposure to new technology such as blockchain has definitely increased tremendously in the last 6 to 8 months, especially.
I'm gonna after a couple of questions, I'm gonna go back to your point and ask about different countries and different regions, because we have seen different regulations coming in right now from different Asian regions. But at the same time, where you guys talking about, looks like Asia is much more adaptive to blockchain and cryptocurrency, because from the US perspective, generally what we have seen is just trading interest growing, not so much as from different governments trying blockchains to solve problems. So it looks like Asia is much more perceptive of the crypto industry right now and of the blockchain. But my next question is actually about the top theme right now in the crypto space is NFTs. And I know that Andy, again, back to you, you've mentioned that, you know, a couple of artists have acquired or have sold different NFTs in their art in form of NFTs. My question is how big of a market it is right now in Asia? Is there a market?
Well, Asia as a whole for NFT, there are definitely a huge uptake right now. All right, you have to really look at it from a different level. One is from a more artwork level, you know, where it's like an auction, Christie's or Phillips and so forth. You know, those are the higher net worth kind of NFT format, right? So that is very good. You know, you see good uptakes. You know, in the Asia region. But then you shift to the other end, which is the more creative side, you know, like I mentioned about students, you know, about people just trying to make NFT. I think they are trying to create, and they are also trying to buy off their friends NFTs. You know, they're trying to buy from different NFTs from different platforms like OpenSea, Rubber, and so forth. I see the take-up is definitely there, but the other big hole that we might see, or a big bubble that we might see, is that, you know, is there really a speculative value behind this? You know, how is this NFT compared to DeFi or even Bitcoin? You know, because people start to compare. You know, if this is a good class asset, you know, someone paid 70 mil for a NFT artwork. You know, or even like Justin Sun, you know, saying that, oh, you know, he complained that I couldn't get the bid on time and things like that. You know, I think it goes down to the fact that, you know, right now at this current moment, I do see a lot of bigger buys for NFT, but most of them I do felt that it is very much of a marketing stunt just to let everybody know what's happening. And it has been successful because you can see that on the mainstream papers. But the real work behind it are always the creators that are trying to create, you know, and who else is going to buy it? You know, are you going to buy it? Is your neighbor buying it? So these are some of the things about adoption. You know, if we need to grow out from the current you know, the current structure, you know, only the more high-end people are buying the artwork, you know, and then, you know, there are plenty of NFTs around, but nobody is really going to buy it. Then, you know, then the demand and supply doesn't balance up. And in future, you know, it's going to create some sort of problem. So what I would suggest is that, you know, we should try as much as possible, you know, spend the right kind of amount on an NFT, nothing too extraordinary. That could also help to create a more sustainable price standard, you know, for some of these NFTs. And we hope to also see there's a certain grade of NFTs. You know, some of the NFTs are just purely NFTs, but some of them they actually work with physical shops, physical designer. You know, you give them their logo, plus they give them the design piece and so forth. So there are a lot of different plays coming on. So Asia, in short, is definitely gaining huge traction for NFTs.
And to your point about Justin Sun wasn't being able to get Beeple's art, he did actually buy Beeple's artwork yesterday for $6 million, and he's going to donate it to the environmental solving problems. So yeah, he definitely got it. It's just another artwork, another cause, and another price. 6 million, not 69, but he still got it. Tony, do you agree with what Andy has to say about the fact that it is actually pretty speculative at the moment and the price might go down? And how do you feel about NFTs in general?
Well, I think that's definitely coming up in the future. I think Chinese people also would be speculative in all kinds of unique auctionable ideas or products. Here in Hong Kong, I think we're more concerned about what the government has actually issued the regulations on security token offering. So there are many security token STO projects that are getting planned and hopefully will be launched. Hopefully we're going to see the first STO launch in the regulated exchange in Hong Kong later this year. I think NFT would come after that. And meanwhile, I'm still seeing a lot of traditional interest in crypto mining. I think most of the Chinese people are very much into crypto mining or buying some kind of mining, wealth management mining products, like from Bitcoin to Ethereum mining to GPU and Filecoin mining. There's a lot of investment in Filecoin mining.
Oh yeah, for sure. But going back to your point about there might be a legal problem with NFTs from the perspective of the Chinese government. Is it actually might be considered illegal to buy it, or is that what you're saying, or there just might be some legal ramifications?
Currently, as far as I know, Chinese people they are free to buy any cryptocurrency, but in China there's not a license. In mainland China, the government has not issued any commercial license for any company to engage in trading of cryptocurrencies. So anyone that's involved in the trading exchange of cryptocurrencies or any crypto assets might be liable for illegal business operation without a license. But in Hong Kong, the situation is different. In Hong Kong, we have a different legal structure, and it's free for people and for companies to operate crypto exchanges or other OTC exchanges. So it's all legal in Hong Kong.
Got it. Thank you, John. Have you sold or bought any NFTs so far? How do you feel about it?
Yeah, actually, for the for the NFT, this technology is not that new. Actually, the NFT, this thing is started from 2 years ago. So I believe lots of the public blockchain, spend a lot of money and the effort on build the non-fungible token, the ecosystem. So I think the reason why the non-fungible token, the NFT, become very popular is not because this technology has a significant improvement. The main reason for the non-fungible token become popular is because more and more people is currently quite interested in the blockchain, in the Bitcoin. We actually is keeping talking with different people, the different community in the global, of course, including the Asian, and we can say like the DeFi is too difficult for them to understanding. I mean, for the normal people. So actually, for the non-fungible token, is not really have very high the technical barrier. So, for example, for the normal people, like if they wanted to invest on the blockchain, except the Bitcoin, maybe the NFT is another low-hanging fruit. I mean, for example, if I want to explain the decentralized finance to my wife, she don't want to study. But if I tell her about the NFT and related with some like the movie star she will do the investment. I think that's the main reason why the NFT is suddenly become very popular in this year. So lots of the money come to this industry, and lots of people want to do the investment, and they don't even have the wallet. So maybe the NFT is a good asset for them to do the investment. But I believe it's a very good thing, because the NFT is become very useful the technology to educate more people to understand what is blockchain. what is the Bitcoin, what is the everything related about the blockchain. So I believe like some people said maybe the NFT have lots of the bubble and it will be broke soon, but I think it may keep longer than what we're thinking. Yeah, because it's currently is education more and more people to know in the blockchain world is not just the Bitcoin, it's not just the Ethereum, it's also like can related with your normal life. Yeah, so yeah, it's my opinion.
So can I ask if your wife did acquire any NFTs or that was just a joke?
It's not a joke, like I spend lots of time to educate like what is DeFi, but she don't have interesting to study. But now I tell him like because she is currently working a movie company, so currently we are also working with some like the mainland China's movie company to do some business with the NFT. So she is quite interesting about it. So it's not a joke, but it's half is a joke, half is real. Yeah.
Andy, do you have any names in mind for where you can buy and or sell NFTs in Asia and or create your own NFTs? There's an optional.
I think I think this there are a couple of really good marketplace. I think OpenSea, Rebel. I think these are the more famous ones. Of course, there are tons of many others in the market. It again depends on what kind of NFTs you're looking at. Because right now, based on our conversation, I love what John has mentioned about NFT being a very good door opener, for friends to know more about Bitcoin or cryptocurrency or Ethereum, how it works. It's a good door opener. But it is also at the same time, we also need to let other people know that NFT can be outside of collectibles, outside of artwork and so forth. You could NFT a building, you can NFT a data set, right? So we are not constrained to any form of NFT just onto an artwork, kind of thing. But artwork could be something could be something we can relate a lot more to. But definitely NFT is not about artwork or collectible. There's a lot of other things that we can do with the technology. Although it's not too big of an improvement in terms of technology, it helps with the education part. So I think that is also one of the key things that's happening right now in this space.
Got it. Thank you. Tony, I know you've mentioned a little bit about the Chinese market. So my next question is actually how dominant China right now in terms of the cryptocurrency market, given the fact that, cryptocurrency trading is not really available there, but the BSN is a thing and Chinese bank is has already trying out the Chinese yen. So how dominant the Chinese market right now for the crypto space?
Well, I think Chinese people are still the dominant traders in the crypto world and also the dominant miners, especially the retail side. But since in the US, there are more institutional investors such as Grayscale, GBDC, Tesla, MicroStrategy, these listed companies that are coming out that are just bringing in much more money than the retailers. But I think it started, if you're talking about years ago, Chinese investors are very active traders. In terms of crypto mining, I think the Chinese miners are still the dominant miners. They account for probably 70% of all the crypto mining production annually. The mining equipment producers and miners, the GPU miners, and also Filecoin miners are very dominant. And so I think that that's still, also in China, there's a lot of retail investors that are putting their money into various mining products. And as I mentioned earlier, more and more mining products are also now merging with listed companies in Hong Kong as well as in NASDAQ. There are several reverse mergers or M&As that are involving listed companies and Chinese miners. So I think more and more U.S. investors would also see this trend in merging U.S. investors, shells, and mining equipment, mining pools.
And how fair it is to say that such project as Digital Yang is successful right now? Is it fair to evaluate it right now, or is it too early?
It's still early in the pilot, but I think I know without any question it will come out because it's a government project, and in China the government is very strong. So if the government wants to roll out this, all the other competitors, and also it's a legal tender. So when it gets rolled out, vendors must accept this, just like accepting renminbi. So they do not have the option of refusing to accept DCEP, like they would be able to refuse USDT or other Bitcoin payment, but they have no option to refuse the digital yuan as the legal payment. And the other thing is that with the worsening, I guess, Sino-US relationship, I think China wants additional channels, maybe even bypassing the US dollar-dominated SWIFT interbanking system, so that they will have their own ecosystem. And in the future, all these buyers from all over the world, if they want to buy Chinese goods from Chinese factories, maybe they have to pay with CBDC rather than USD via the SWIFT bank wire system. I think that's the backup plan for China in terms of building its own digital payment and ecosystem.
Thank you for clarifying that. Andy, you look like you agree with what Tony has to say, but I do have a question to you. If it's fair to ask that, why is actually China developing the CBDC in that regard? Why? Just to try out blockchain, just to, as Tony mentioned, to sort of overtake US dollar in a sense? Why is this project so important?
I think a fair bit of the whole structuring is also to have a better control of the inflow and outflow of the digital yuan or the renminbi. So I think control is one of the things that they are trying to do, but of course there are some other more comments or idea that is more skewed towards the politics side of things. But ultimately, I still want to emphasize that what the digital yen can do, USD can do the same, SGD can do the same, so forth and so on. They are all on equal footing. From a technology standpoint, they could always do the same. But what some of the countries can't do is that they do not have that kind of power like the Chinese government to control and making sure that such a project work for the entire country. If you are going to do it in some other countries, there might be protests. There might be a lot of guys, they didn't like the whole privacy issue or the whole control issue. They want some freedom and things like that. So, not every country is able to make it as successful as China. So I think China coming up with the DCEP sets a certain good standard on how this digital payment or how this blockchain-backed money system will work for different countries. So I hope they can do as well as what they have done with WeChat and Alipay. Changing the whole digital payment space, and now with DCEP, it should grow a lot bigger too. I think John would know this a lot better, I guess.
John, can you comment on that? But yeah, unfortunately we have to finish that. But if you could please answer that, and can you tell us a little bit more about
Yeah, I'm in Shanghai. I'm Chinese citizen, and so yeah, I think it's very important thing for China. No further
That's
comments.
that's a good thing. That's a good development. And anything else?
Yeah, I think like currently I think the whole world is using the Swift as the Swift system to do all the monetary transactions. So maybe use the blockchain technology is a good way to or maybe to improve the traditional the financial system to improve its efficiency. So DCEP may be a very good sample to make it real. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. I do have so many questions, so many follow-ups, but unfortunately we don't have any more time, but I do hope that we will, have an opportunity to discuss it again. Thank you so much for participating, and thank you to everyone who's watching this, and I hope you enjoy this panel.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.